Irankunda, let's fly! Oh! Nestor Irankunda!
Too much power.
Jovanovic still on the left foot! And there's the goal! Perhaps Adelaide's season is still alive.
Garuccio and the goal! Daniel Pena! He goes for the pass. Garuccio! Western United equalise in the very last minute.
6 games to go for these two clubs and a real 6-pointer here at Cooper Stadium this evening. Finals hopes hanging by a thread for both Adelaide United and for Western United. And defeat tonight surely spells the end of the road for one of them. Well, this venue might be a favourite among A-League fans, but it's not been a happy hunting ground for the Reds of late. They are without a win here since defeating the Newcastle Jets 3-1 on the 22nd of December last year. However, their win over the same Jets team before the international break, which ended a 7-game winless streak, has given them some hope. They must surely capitalise tonight. Western United's best form of the season has come almost too late, a 4-game unbeaten sequence that has seen them pick up 8 points from a possible 12, but they would surely need to win all their remaining games to have a chance of sneaking into the top 6. Fairly warm evening in South Australia, 27 degrees. Here's the team news. Just the one change for Adelaide. Giuseppe Bobolina has been away with the Olyroos, so he is rested, with Javi Lopez switching back to his more familiar right-back position, and captain Ryan Kitto returning at left-back. Hiroshi Ibasuki needs one more goal for double figures this season, and it's one of the last opportunities for Reds fans to see Nestor Irankunda in the flesh, with one home game left after today, and the Reds unlikely to host a home final. Irankunda, of course, joins Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Ryan Kitto back in the team and got a special presentation before the game after racking up game number 200 for the Reds. That's in all competitions. He's 4th on their all-time list behind Eugene Galekovic, Michael Maroney and his current teammate Isaias. Now Western United go with an unchanged 11 from the side that drew with Melbourne Victory before the international break. Tom Hewitt-Bell is fit again after recovering from a finger problem, but John Aloisi sticks with Matt Sutton between the posts. Still no Noah Botic, so Michael Roos leads the line in attack. Daniel Pena will play as the number 10. He scored 4 goals in his last 5 matches, and Connor O'Toole returns on the bench for the first time in a month. There's Ben Garuccio up against one of his former clubs this evening. He spent 2 years with the Reds, playing 50 games. And he still has an Adelaide connection, of course, hosting a podcast with Stefan Mork. He was also the player that's hit the 90th minute equaliser against Victory in the last round to salvage a 2-2 draw. Carl Veert has taken the Reds to the finals 3 times since taking over from Gert-Jan Verbeek in 2019-20, and that season the last time they failed to make the top 6. And John Aloisi back in his home city, where it all started as a player with Adelaide City. He made his debut at this stadium in November 1991 against the Melbourne Knights. Referee today is Adam Kersey. It's now just 1 game short of hitting 3 figures in the A-League. David Walsh and Henry Day run the lines. Daniel Elder is the 4th official, and Sean Evans is in charge of the VAR. Hiroshi Ibasuki getting the nod despite Luka Jovanovic's fine scoring form off the bench. 3 goals in 4 games, but he's on the pine again this evening. And it is Adelaide United in their familiar red jerseys getting us underway, kicking from right to left on your screens in this first half. And I guess, Andy Harper, it really is the last chance saloon for these two teams tonight.
You'd think so, Simon. Happy Easter to you and to everyone tuning in on this Good Friday. Splendid pictures coming out of Adelaide. Beautiful evening for football. Magnificent stadium. Two teams desperate. Western in good form. Adelaide have played better without picking up the results. So this one, I think, really sits nicely. And Simon, before you ask, the key to the game is Daniel Pena. If he fires, Western win. If Adelaide don't handle him, Western win.
It's that simple.
Well, of course, it's not that simple.
It's certainly one of the key things that Adelaide have to do right, and Western will be hoping to exploit his current run of form, which is pretty prolific. This is Adelaide United's 250th home game in the A-League, by the way, at Cooper Stadium. And they haven't gone 7 without a win at this venue since 2012. And home form really has been the main problem for them this season. Here's Ryan Kitto. He started on the bench against the Newcastle Jets, but restored to the 11 this evening. Sutton didn't quite come onto him inside the penalty area. Imai across the defensive line. Now the record appearance holder for Western United, Tomoki Imai, game number 111 for him in all competitions this evening. Win for Western, in fact even a draw tonight, would at least move them off the foot of the ladder where they've been stationed for the last 13 rounds. And this is Lockie Wales, who's managed to find a little bit of space inside the box. Almost got a second bite of it. Out it pops for Pasquale. And now Pena with a little sandwich, the dink over the top for that run of Thurgate. There's your prediction, Hans.
Well, you know, it didn't make me look any smarter than anyone else at that point, but he does try things that most players don't even conceive, and it just ran out of space there. Delianov had it covered nicely. It's a nice crisp start to the game, opening couple of minutes. The passing's been good. Splendid, again, playing surface.
A little bump on Irankunda, but play continues with Isaias for the Reds. Irankunda now back on his feet. Javi Lopez on the right, looking to sling it across for Ibusuki. It's way over the head of tall Japanese striker. And Josh Risdon able to float the ball forward for Pena, who was collected rather ordinarily by the Adelaide defender.
Well, instructive.
Ben Warland.
Instructive how Ben Warland swooped on Pena. Just cannot afford to give him any time to settle. Clearly evident the intent there from Ben Warland. Stop-start season for him, fine player. And Adelaide are better when he's in good nick and doing his thing for the team.
Drops kindly here for Michael Roos. Palmed away by Delianov, the cross. Retrieved, though, by Matt Grimaldi. It's a bit of a mess, that, defensively for Adelaide. Pena trying to slide that ball through again. Won't be long before he finds his range, Daniel Pena. Nestori Irankunda against Ben Garucho is also a battle to keep an eye on.
Most certainly. There's a lot of game breakers around the field. Actually, two nice first 11 starting tonight, not without their issues coming in, of course, but...
Here's Ibusuki, went first time, which was not a bad idea given that Matt Sutton was off his line, but it was a good recovery from the Western goalkeeper.
Yeah, good work from Ibusuki too, in tight and in close. You know, he's a very, very adept footballer. He went for the early option there, trying to catch Matt Sutton by surprise.
Diving in was Michael Roos. The ball breaks kindly for Adelaide United, and Zach Clough to carry the ball forward. Faced by Imai, and the deflection almost sat up invitingly for Nestori Irankunda.
Yeah, good anticipation from the youngster there. Just that sixth sense that the really good players have. Not that he was predicting the deflection, but just that sense to be there or thereabouts, and it really fell favourably for Adelaide. Zach Clough cutting in on his right foot. He's been a bit of a slow burn at his start of his Adelaide career, but he's really emerged. And we've really seen a lot of the quality of Zach Clough this season. Strangely, it hasn't run in tandem with a team that's been picking up points, but they've not often been that far out of the contest, Adelaide.
Pena places it out in front of Lachlan Wales. It's an inviting cross, partly cleared by Ansell. Still there for Ben Garuccio. And who got the final touch? Goal kick. Although Ben Garuccio doesn't think so.
Well, it was a nice play down the right. Pena releasing Lachlan Wales. It's a good header from Ansell. Ben Garuccio's got a... He's good on both sides of his body, but he's particularly strong, obviously, with his left foot. I probably think in hindsight, just to control and shoot with that left foot might have been the better option.
Now, Irankunda with a chance to get away down that right-hand side. Only Ibasuki in the box at the moment. Clough now joining him. Irankunda using Clough. Mork in there as well, but he got caught up with those Western United defenders.
Irankunda is respectfully asking Zach Clough why he didn't do the 1-2, and I've got to say that was my reaction as well. The give and go was certainly on.
Sprayed out wide by Pena. Grimaldi was just waiting for Garuccio to join in on the overlap. Uses the decoy instead. Riston. Wales. Pena within range, and it wasn't too far away. It's going to be a corner.
Well,
the defender, or maybe Delianov who got the touch.
Yeah, I think Delianov got a little touch at the end. Linking nicely down the right-hand side, Pena and Wales. I think there was a double deflection there off the defender and saved by Delianov.
Just signed a new 3-year contract this week, James Delianov, very much the number one now, of course, with Joe Gacci having departed to Aston Villa during the January transfer window. Pena's corner, too flat. Western United throw. Just 2 wins on the road this season for John Aloisi's Western United. Only one of those interstate. That was against the Wanderers a few weeks back, where they were victorious by 3-1. Pasquale. James Donachie venturing forward. Garuccio. Grimaldi. Going around the outside and trying to find the angle, and he did so. And he partly away by Ansell, and then Riston's shot is comfortable for Delianov.
The build-ups from Western United. Very measured, players are in good touch. It's a really nice start to this game. With both sets of players, the control has been crisp, the passing's been of a good quality, ball movement's fast, player movements are pretty direct as well. It's been a very tidy opening to this match. Good Friday night in Adelaide. On the back of an incredible win for the Newcastle Jets in the Liberty A-League Women. Wow, 8-0. Hasn't that thrown the cat amongst the pigeons for the top 6 last round?
Has. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well done to the Jets.
Boosted the goal difference, didn't they? The Jets men's team in action tomorrow. Away to Melbourne City. They could be bottom tonight if Western avoid defeat here this evening. And probably the game of the round tomorrow night as well. Sydney FC against Central Coast Mariners. And we've had a good start here at Coopers. Given away rather cheaply though by Western. Adelaide return the compliment, and in the end it's a Western throw.
Great shot, look at that. What a venue.
Everybody loves going to Coopers. Apart from their players of late.
Yes, strangely.
I mean, it's normally such a fortress, Harbs, and yet one home win, which came against Newcastle since rounds 1 and 2 back in October. Benny Warland's got a problem. They're not used to that, the Reds fans.
No, unfortunately, a bit used to seeing Benny Warland come a cropper. This is unfortunate. Like he's had as mentioned before, a stop-start season. He's a fine player.
I'm not sure that's how he did the injury. I think that was a collision with his own goalkeeper. Possibly. A few minutes ago, which has maybe caused a bit of a problem to the small of the back.
He's a disappointed man. It's so all-consuming as a sports person. When you're going through a run of injuries, you just cannot seem to shake them, get your body right.
Here we go.
Well, he looked crook before then.
Yeah.
Delianov didn't help.
No. Friendly fire.
Yeah.
Let's go down to Lucas Ronaldo's pitch side for us. Evening, Lucas.
Evening, boys. Yeah, like you say, just a collision with James Delianov, it looked like, but it does seem like at this stage he's going to be okay. As you both mentioned, the conditions here, perfect for football tonight, about 26 degrees, so perfect for playing tonight. But a word on the crowd, considering Adelaide United's form, it's been so long since they've had a win here, 6 games, but this is actually the longest stretch. The last time they went that long, they had a win in the Champions League, so longest stretch ever without a win here, so good crowd considering.
Thanks, Lucas. Shot by Grimaldi, charged down. Oh, very strong biting challenge from Irankunda on Garuccio. First little marker.
Good on him. And this is the sort of intensity that needs to go right round both sets of players.
Here's Angus Thurgate. Good save, Delianov. Thurgate again. And swept away at the near post by Ben Warland, who still doesn't look too comfortable. I reckon he's taken a painkiller, Ben Warland. But as he sweeps this ball away, again his hand goes to the small of his back.
That's a lovely touch to open up the chance from Thurgate. Good shot too, very well saved from Delianov.
Look at that from Pena. Absolutely wonderful. There's a little nudge inside the box. Grimaldi back to his feet pretty quickly. And no great appeals for a spot kick by Western, and Adelaide break. And Irankunda on the move. He went for goal, as you just knew he would.
Well, James Donachie wouldn't fancy himself in a foot race against Irankunda, but geez, he hung on well then. And Tomoki Imai coming across to provide the double cover just negated the angle. It didn't negate the intent from Irankunda, because he'll shoot from anywhere. But both those players actually denied the opportunity to square the ball to a supporting player in red, which was good work from Tomoki Imai and James Donachie.
Off the head of Kitto. Still not away for Western. Irankunda again doesn't need any second invitation. Fires well over this time. He's got 3 goals this season, Nestori Irankunda. You can add 4 assists to that tally as well. That's a good win high up the park by Javi Lopez. Western enjoying the lion's share of possession in the early stages. Warland still doesn't look too comfortable. Kitto's cross. Not the best.
Yeah, Ryan Kitto's season, I guess, this is not to hang Adelaide's troubled times on one player, particularly Ryan Kitto, who's been fantastic for them. But his personal season has been a pretty apt reflection of the way the team's gone. You know, he has been so good. The team has been so good. It's been a very inconsistent season from Ryan Kitto for one reason or another, as with the team. He's not the reason for it necessarily, but his peaks and troughs have been reflected right across the whole football club, which is why they find themselves where they're at. And it's a strange, strange experience for Adelaide United fans and A-League followers, because Adelaide, 90% of the time, are in the heavyweight fights at the end of the season.
Yeah, they've only been one game away, or one stage away from the grand final in each of the last 3 campaigns. Struggling just to make the 6 this time. And just on Ben Waller, by the way, if he is unable to continue for that injury reason, there is no natural central defender on the bench as a replacement. Wonder whether we might see Isuzu again playing at the back. That would have been a foul, but play goes on, and Grimaldi gets the shot away. Delianov makes another good block, and Adelaide will scramble it clear. And 1 or 2 groans from the home fans.
Well, the catalogue of chances for Western and very promising entries into the Adelaide penalty area is growing. Delianov has been too good so far. Otherwise, Western, as per that effort from Michael Roos, a difficult one, but nevertheless, the finishing has not been good enough.
The one prior to that was certainly a better one for Matt Grimaldi, and yeah, I could just see in the corner of my eye that Ben Warland was struggling. I'm pretty sure he popped a couple of painkillers, which of course do take time to take effect, but he doesn't look comfortable at all.
And so I think your expectation that Isuzu goes into the back line, Luke Dazelle maybe comes in the midfield, but Isuzu is the most ready-made replacement if Ben Warland can't continue.
Harry van der Sarg being readied. Maybe Javi Lopez to switch into the middle.
Maybe Javi Lopez. Yeah, that's a dicky back, and that's a problem.
Ben Warland then unable to continue, and is forced off after 17 minutes. Harry van der Sarg on, and a little bit of a readjustment for the Reds.
Yeah, so it is Javi Lopez making his way into the centre. Wish Ben Warland all the best. It's frustrating.
Well, that readjustment unsettled Adelaide United. New partner for Nick Ansell. Sayers losing out in the 50-50, but Ricochet favoured his team. It's a good ball to open up the space a little bit for Zach Clough. Sayers, Alagic. The cutback was good. Clough missed his kick. Irankunda didn't. What a super finish from Nestori Irankunda. It might be his last goal at Cooper Stadium. And it was so precise into that bottom corner. Adelaide United lead.
Well, good numbers of players forward for Adelaide. Very positive touch this from Isuzu. So I think that sets up the attack on the Harvey Norman replay. Zach Clough will get credited with the assist, but I'm not quite sure this is what he had in mind. But there can be no doubt what Nestori Irankunda had in mind. Unerring technique. And he just fires the ball out of the reach of Matt Sutton. A crisper strike, Craig Goodwin-esque. You're never likely to see. Measured without too much power, but straight into the back of the net.
And the little Cristiano Ronaldo type celebration to boot. His 4th goal of the season. And didn't the home crowd enjoy that one? A complete miscue off the right peg of Zach Clough. But what a sweet, sweet finish from Nestori Irankunda. It's just the 8th time this season, by the way, that Adelaide have taken the lead. At Let's watch this. That's not a bad try from Michael Roos. Always falling away past that right hand upright. And they're yet to lose any of the previous 7 when they've hit the front. 5 wins and 2 draws. So that's the size of the task now facing John Aloisi's team.
Yeah, well, on recent form, Aloisi's team is capable of redressing the situation. You'd have been worried 8 to 10 weeks ago. The Caramello Bears, the soft centres, were very easily exposed, but they're made of sterner stuff. They've got players back. Here's trouble.
Stefan Moore picking the pocket of the Western defenders, but he managed to scramble back in time. They were looking to break away down that left-hand side, but Adelaide buoyed by that goal, hunting in packs for the ball. Moore trying to burrow his way through, a little bit too literally. Looking to go straight through, James Donachie.
But so far what we have seen tonight from Western United, which has been a little bit of a tale, certainly at the start of the season, is just a lack of conviction in front of goal. I mean, their entry into the penalty area with really promising, positive opportunities has really fallen flat. But I think they're in a better frame of mind not to let that get on top of them. Adelaide with a real spring in their step at the moment, though. It's a very important period of the game now for Western to make sure they control the damage.
Wales lost track of the ball for a moment. He'll get a throw, though. Riston. There's a little trip there from Clough. Might have been accidental, but it's a free kick nonetheless. Oh, it was actually
well,
tug of the jersey. Not accidental at all.
And I just wonder how that's not a yellow card on Zach Clough. I mean, it's not a football challenge at all. At all.
Well, he's got away without sanction. Maybe Western United can still exact their own punishment from the free kick. Which Pena delivers, and James Delinoff calls for and claims. Really good, confident goalkeeping.
It's great to see him back. I mean, that's loving Joe Gauci and the opportunity he's getting in England, and I've loved him as an Adelaide keeper, but it's come at the expense of James Delinoff. It's just great to see him back. He's been very good to start tonight, has needed to be, even though Western have had better chances than their final execution has probably shown.
Alagic. Kitto. When Adelaide United signed those 2 goalkeepers, I think if my memory serves me correct, Delinoff was initially the number 1 ahead of Gauci, but obviously Joe Gauci then stole a march. Clough, now the space for Ryan Kitto to attack. Adelaide in behind, Stefan Moore. Good block from Donachie on the volley by Alagic, and it spins away, and Sutton prevents the corner. Good chance that for the Reds.
Yeah, well defended from Donachie, but again, just nice crisp play from the Reds.
Riston. Wales. Turned back by Pasquale for Imai and Donachie. Garuccio earns a throw off the goal scorer. Seems to have settled again a bit, Nestor Irankunda, after that sort of mid-season fluctuation in form, where perhaps his head didn't necessarily seem to be in the right spot. Ooh, that's a strong challenge on Alagic by Riston, but a fair one. And Clough races away. Zach Clough! Pretty close.
Well, this is the end part of the play, and Tomoki Imai might well have got a touch there, as per Zach Clough's appeal. Nice effort for the far post. Kunda was available too if he fancied it all, but it was a crunching tackle from Ethan Allegich again. And we remember a couple of weeks back in that Melbourne victory game, Simon, where it was a new side to Ethan Allegich. He was, if I was to say muscular in that game, it was understating it. I thought he was outstanding. Went a bit quiet the next week on that front. We get to that 50-50 against Josh Risdon, a player who doesn't lose many 50-50s, and he left him on the canvas. It was brilliant stuff.
Stefan Mork. It's just behind Irankunda, but he'll continue his run to put pressure on Matt Sutton, who is unfazed. Bit of a hospital ball that for Grimaldi. Adelaide come away with the ball. Isaias. Abasuki loses out. Wales. Oh, the ball was just too hard at Daniel Pena.
And behind him, unfortunate for Western. Just lacked that little bit of quality from Lachie Wales. The attack was setting up nicely.
So a bit of skill from Isaias. Ole. Pity they're not playing MacArthur, otherwise that joke would have been really funny.
Well, I got it.
Mork. Clough. Gonna have a go here. Zach Clough. Good try. Now, a couple of strikes within a couple of minutes by the Englishman. Both not far away.
And this is more of the football that Zach Clough has been producing, which has vindicated the Reds bringing him to the A-League. He really can hit a ball nicely. Matt Sutton in the Western goal was certainly committed to trying, as he thought, to save that one. Not needed in the end as the ball whistled wide, but it had that flight about it. Looked like it might have possibly dipped into that top corner.
Lachie Wales, always a willing runner, but needed better quality. Western United have shown a fair bit of enterprise in this opening half an hour, but not able to find a way past James Delinoff. They are the league's lowest scorers with just 24. Kito stealing in ahead of Pena. Lopez. Touch ball by Ansel. Allegich. Nice touch by Ivasuki. Adelaide building really nicely here. At least they were. Stefan Mork's done well. Clough teeing up Ivasuki. It's all very tight in there. Down goes Clough. And the signal is for the corner after Mork's shot was blocked. Zach Clough is claiming he was impeded inside the penalty box.
I just think it was too congested. The Western players held their nerve as Adelaide United footballers were trying to skip wide into some space, but it's all very tight. There's a little bit of contact there. Does he get the ball? Zach Clough's asked the question, so to Carl Viet. Tape will be spooling back and forth in the VAR box at the moment.
Sean Evans assessing the pictures and informs Adam Kersey that there's nothing more to see here. So on we go. Either Alagic or Clough. It is Alagic with the in-swinger. Punch by Sutton. Caruccio has turned the ball over. Van der Sar. So he was looking for an option but didn't really have one. So back they come through Ansel, and now Iran Kunda popping up on the left-hand side. Lopez. A little bit too tight in there for Isaias, and then a foul by Ibasuki on Pasquale.
Well done, nice. Pasquale. Really good pressure on Isaias.
Sergei. Caruccio's going to have to bust a gut to get there. Not quite able to reach around the ball.
And again, all the hard work done, Simon, and the easiest pass in the sequence was overhit, this time by Thurgate, whose touch tonight has been very good. They're not far off, Western, although I must say they're not looking as potent as when they started the match. The opening 15 minutes, they looked like they could really skip away. Delinov had to deny Western a few times.
Western still without a clean sheet on the road this season. And talking of home and away, of course they are literally going home for the first time. 6th of April, they'll play MacArthur. First match of the new Ironbark Fields. Kunda going early. Gambling that Ibasuki was going to hit that front post. They have been training at Tarney for the last couple of weeks now, Western United. And it will give the club some sense of stability.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic development. Taken a while to get this far. Obviously been a very, very difficult journey, but let's just hope this is the start of the dream being realised.
Yep. Yeah, the training ground is base camp. Tomoki Imai against his compatriot Ibasuki, but they've turned the ball over and Zach Clough races away. Clough trying to place it, and again he had teammates perhaps better positioned.
Agreed, Simon. They ran into a cul-de-sac, and Tomoki Imai is way too experienced to fall for that. You'd have thought Zach Clough is way too experienced not to have accepted one of the runs on offer. Maybe Iran Kunda was a bit narrow, but Stefan Mork was free to the right. I, like you, Simon, really question the decision at the end of that from Zach Clough.
He's perhaps desperate for a goal. He's scored only one in his last 11 matches, and that was a penalty. None from open play since back in December. He's had 3 good sights of goal. Here's Imai, whose cheap giveaway presented that opportunity. Pena leaves it for Pasquale. Wide right is Wales. Thurgate with a little darting run into the box, and is there a bit of contact there? Well, if there's not, then Adelaide are saying you should have a word about simulation.
Yeah, well, I don't agree. I think he's just... Yeah, there's no penalty and there's no simulation there, I don't think. He's just overcommitted. Isaias, of course, is, as he does, he is one of the great bush lawyers in the league.
Pena. It's a lovely ball. Grimaldi losing out though to Van der Sar, and Irankunda is set free down the right. Does he try and attack the defender? Not this time. Maybe an indication of the growing maturity of Irankunda, that he just assessed the options and thought, no, now is not the time. When he first burst onto the scene, Andy, he would be putting the ball past the fullback, and getting involved in a sprint race.
Well, the immediate midfielder against him there was Sebastian Pasquale, and London to a brick. He's grateful that it's a Irankunda with more perspective at the moment, because there is no way he would have wanted to chase him down in that situation.
Michael Roos to lead the throw for Josh Risdon. Here is the Western United skipper once again. Alagic got a foot in. Forward towards Ibasuki. That's a lovely ball from Ibasuki. Now Irankunda perhaps with the chance to attack. Donachie in front of him. He's overhit the release for Mork. It was the right idea, just not the right execution.
Yeah, again, he measured the option nicely. Just badly overhit the pass. Otherwise, Stefan Mork, it was his to miss from there.
Here come Western United. Grimaldi. It's a nice switch for Wales. Only Roos in the box at the moment. Penny there now as well. Behind them all is Risdon, who floats it forward, and Delionov out to meet the header from Grimaldi, and then Van der Sar had to scramble it clear. Still not away completely, and a good take by the goalkeeper second time round.
Terrific work from Delionov, and pretty brave this too from Grimaldi, as the ball sort of, it's beautifully dinked over the top. It just sort of stalls there, and there's this moment when Grimaldi says, well, I got to go for this, but it could get ugly because the keeper's going to come and probably try and clean me up. But he stayed in the contest. Delionov in the end was too good for him. Delightful offering that from Josh Risdon though. Delionov again to the Reds' rescue.
String of saves by James Delionov. Adelaide have the goal that matters through Nestori Irankunda. He was not able to get the return ball there from Mork. Adelaide United brains trust, there's plenty of experience there. Three Socceroos back in their day of some repute. Messrs Viet, Milligan and Maury. Penny for Risdon. A few choice words muttered under the breath of Josh Risdon. Glorious evening in the city of churches, and a good crowd enjoying a good game. Punch forward by Donachie. Grimaldi has to turn back for Garuccio. Is Imai. Wales. There's a little off the ball incident there, and it's going to be a yellow card. Oh, and a bit of afters too between Risdon and Clough. And it's none too friendly, and Josh Risdon's got to be really careful here 2 or 3 times the arms are raised. They're all a bit of something and nothing initially. Just being told to calm down, the Western United captain. Yeah, it's a clear foul. He's backing into Zach Clough, and then the afters could have got Josh Risdon even into more trouble than just the yellow card that he has received.
Yeah, well, he gets the yellow, and then with the yellow, he goes for another bite, which was a potentially very silly thing to do.
That's his 10th yellow card of the season, by the way.
He's looked a little frustrated tonight, fair to say that. A couple of passes haven't come off.
Adelaide thought they should have had another foul there. Here's Pena breaking through 2 challenges and still has the wherewithal to find Wales. Western on the attack, and it's slice behind off Javi Lopez for a corner.
And look at that collection of Reds players in and around the 6-yard box. They recovered the ground really nicely. Lucky Wales did very well after finding that reverse pass from Daniel Pena. It was a beauty. But again, the Reds just flooded their own penalty area. Did very, very well to see that one away.
Half-time not far away. There's the corner. Oh, James Delionoff had to be mindful of the fact that could have just dipped in underneath the crossbar. Couldn't afford to take any chances. In fact, it did hit the crossbar.
First up.
Before Delionoff got a finger to it. Take 2. Same sort of area, but very confident take again. Spent a season, of course, with Western United, James Delionoff. Michael Ruse is told to come away. Didn't play any first-team games during his stint with the club in 2019-20, Delionoff. He was number 2 to Philip Curto that season. Memory serves. It's calmly done, well, at least initially, by Western. Stolen back, Van der Sar. Always rising.
Nestri Nkunda has moved on to the left side for Adelaide, which puts him directly up against Josh Risdon, and you just wonder if Carl Veart has decided to close the half with his own stick of dynamite up against the volcanic Josh Risdon. See if we can tempt him into another rash challenge.
Lopez across, providing cover, but the release was left a fraction short for Isaias. Did well there to retrieve the situation at the expense of a throw. Thurgate. Cross deflected, awkward for Alagic, but he'll deal with it at the second time of asking. Imai turns all the way back to Matt Sutton. Matt Sutton enjoying his 5th consecutive game ahead of Tom Heward-Bell after that finger problem for the regular number 1. Sat on the bench in the A-League 108 times before getting his chance. Michael Ruse penalised. If my reading of his message is correct, he's saying to the ref, well, I've got to be allowed to go for the ball. But you've got to keep the feet down as well too, Michael. 2 additional minutes, as indicated by Daniel Elder, the 4th official. And it's been an enjoyable first half.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. Two teams at the wrong end of the table from their perspective, but not playing like that. Although you have to say playing with the necessary determination to try and salvage the season. This is definitely, well, from my reckoning, last chance saloon for Western United. Adelaide have got a 3-point buffer on them, so maybe a skerrick of fat on the bone still for them, but you wouldn't have thought much.
Irankunda not quite able to nick the ball past James Donachie, and there's a little bit of a conversation between the two after, and I'm not sure it was the friendliest. Let's have a look. Donachie feeling that he had a little bit of a kick out at him afterwards. Maybe the last chance of the first half, and that one swept away by Imai. Kitto. Clough. With better finishing, probably from Zach Clough in particular, Adelaide might have been further clear.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you get to half-time and both coaches can look at with positivity at what their teams have done, respective teams have done, and could justifiably think we might have had a goal or two more each.
As it is, we've just had the one. It came by the boot of Nestori Irankunda. A very crisp finish it was too. And that's enough to give the Reds the advantage. They're halfway to just their second home win since October of last year. But still plenty more to come in this one, you fancy, at the break at Cooper Stadium. It's Adelaide United 1, Western United 0.
Exciting first half here at Hindmarsh Stadium. Adelaide United 1, Western United 0. Chances at both ends, big saves, probably a couple more goals on offer as well. We'll have the full halftime show after the break. Welcome back to Hindmarsh Stadium. Chances galore at both ends. We've had players hitting the deck, cards, goals, a little bit of everything early here. But it is Adelaide United leading 1-0 at half-time over Western United. Both teams firmly in this one, gentlemen.
That's right, and they're both playing with a lot of passion, a lot of pride in the jersey. You wouldn't know that they're towards the bottom of the table. This game still means a lot to these players and these clubs.
Yeah, I thought Western United actually started the better. You talked about who was going to be comfortable on the ball. I thought they were. They created enough chances, especially in that middle of the park. I actually said beforehand about Killer in that middle. I thought Pasquale and Fergate were actually dictating the pace. But then it just takes one opportunity, which Adelaide took.
It looks like, just watching from up in the stands, the space, it looks like the sort of space you get late in the game. We were getting it 20 minutes in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a space that you got two teams that down the bottom. They've got really nothing to play for, even mathematically. Nothing to lose. So it's going to be open. They want to play attacking football, and that's probably the reason.
And that suits probably one man more than most. We'll have a look at the Harvey Norman highlights, and the goal is going to feature in this one. Nesta Rurankunda, he's been exploiting the space, but perhaps maybe a lucky assist. I'm sure Zach Clough will claim it as intentional, but a great finish, Bruce.
A fantastic finish, and it was a little bit against the run of play. Like Archie was saying, I thought that Western United did start the better, but just takes one chance. And we spoke about Craig Goodwin in the pre-game. This is a Craig Goodwin-esque finish, as Simon Hill was saying. You know, low, hard, across the keeper. Didn't try and blast the leather off it. Just great technique. Make sure it was going into that bottom corner.
Let's have a look at the match stats here, which will sort of tell the tale there. It is Adelaide United 1-0 at half-time, but it's been a very open end-to-end, like 12 shots to 9 shots. We've got the XGs up there as well, but Western United have had a little bit more of the ball. Have they looked dangerous?
Yeah, I thought for that first sort of 20 minutes they did. Every time they went out into the wide areas, the overlapping run, it didn't seem like Adelaide were really coping with that. That created a few chances for Western United, but once they kind of settled, and like I said, that run up against the run of play, took their opportunity, the whole complexion of the game just changed from that. They had more chances. Clough was, again, had a great shot, just a little bit deflected, went over the top, but definitely more created by Adelaide.
Let's have a look at those Western United chances, because it could very easily be the reverse scoreline or something else. They have been peppering almost, Bruce.
They have, and Delyanov's had a fantastic game. There's no doubt about it. Maybe that 3-year contract has sort of, taken that nervousness out. But whatever it is, or whatever he had for breakfast this morning, it's working because he's come up big. It's not that Western United are, blazing away, shots are missing the targets. They're shooting on target, and Delyanov's coming up big. Of course, if you're in Western United's shoes, you would have liked a bit more accuracy on some of these shots, an Irankunda-esque type finish perhaps. But Delyanov's been fantastic, notwithstanding Western United has been peppering his goal.
That's not a short package of shots we just showed either there. It could very easily be the other way if it wasn't for James Delyanov. He's come up big in that first half.
Yeah, he has, and because, like I said, that first 20 minutes, they weren't able to cope with the passing of Western United. Western United seemed to just start that play from the back, easily through the midfield and then out in these wide areas. Again, you'd be one-on-one opportunities, and he's come up really big. And like Bruce is saying, it's funny what a 3-year contract can do. You can be a lot easier. I'll tell you what, if I was given a 3-year contract with Channel 10, I'd be just sitting on here. I could tell you everything.
Some of your best. Have you not been giving us your best already?
Well, give me a couple more years. We'll see what happens.
I did want to ask though, when you sign a contract, I mean, you boys are at the opposite end of the pitch to a James Delyanov. When you sign a contract and you have that, I imagine you can go one of two ways. You can either put your cue in the rack and go, my future's sorted here, I don't have to worry about it. Or you can get this lift that it looks like in one half James Delyanov's getting.
Oh, well, it takes a lot of pressure off because if you're going, knowing that you've only got a few games left, you're not playing for finals, and you're not probably been playing the best football, a lot of pressure starts to sort of mount. I mean, contracts are the worst things when you're coming into Brucey. I don't know about you, but I used to get so nervous every single time that contractual talks were about to start.
Okay, let's look at the Paramount Plus Player Index. It is not James Delyanov right at the top. He's number 2, Nesta Rurankunda, and that goal getting it done. The goal counts for a lot of it, but he's been involved, Bruce.
He's been involved a lot, and the thing about Irankunda, and it's what makes him different, every time he gets the ball, he looks dangerous. Something's going to happen. Will it be an assist? Could he win a penalty? Is he going to just score the goal? Or is he going to do a bit of fancy work and, put the crowd on their feet? I said in the pre-game, this is a game where the players are going to have to get the fans involved in the game. They've got to get the fans on their feet, not the other way around. And Nestori's been key to that in this first half. They started a little bit flat, and it's about moments. These games are about moments. It's whether Delianov saves it or not. It's about whether Irankunda gets the finish or not, and they've been doing that. Hence, they're up 1-0.
When you see a first half like that from Nestor Irankunda, does it kill you to know that he's left so many on the table for us in his last year in the A-League?
Yeah, but look, he's an incredible talent, and actually, I think it was Simon Hill said actually about the maturity of him, because there was an opportunity there when he was running with the ball and he decided to slow it down, and Pasquale was actually coming up behind him. That was probably the one time I say, mate, go for it, because Pasquale's not the quickest player.
We've worried him out of it.
Yeah, but that might be that bit of maturity, starting to listen to the players around him, saying that you just can't take every single player on. Maybe if there is a few players in front of you, where else can I be more effective?
We are about to run out of time, boys. What does Western United need to do real quick, second half?
They've got to take their chances. I don't think Western United are playing poorly. They just need to take their chances when they're presented to them.
Yeah, I'm with Brucey.
Beautiful.
Exactly
Easy. I mean, you just agree with what Bruce said.
No, great teamwork.
How easy is that?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
We're all in this together.
Facts are facts.
And that concludes the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Stick with us for the second half coming up after the break. And of course, some big action across the weekend. The Saturday game on bold, Central Coast and Sydney. Bruce is excited about this one. It's going to be a heavyweight clash. And then on Sunday, Melbourne Victory and Perth. The two teams. It's hard to predict what's going to happen with them. Archie certainly riding the victory. And that's not all we've got coming up. Next month, the Matildas back in action across the screens of 10 and Paramount+.
Now for Torby, and this time it's Caitlin Torby's goal. Gorry, oh that's a lovely little touch, and that's goal number 6. Driven back in, and there it is, her 4th. Rasso winds up, and Rasso scores. There it is for Saya, and she's got it this time. At last, she says.
All set to go for the second half at Cooper Stadium. Those Adelaide United fans buoyed by the thought that they might win back-to-back games in the A-League men for the first time since October last year. You might remember they won their first 2 games of the season. They were top after round 3, the Reds. But at home at least it's been pretty slim pickings since then. But they have the advantage courtesy of Nestori Irankunda's first half goal. Western United getting us back underway. No further changes made by either coach at the break. A reminder, Ben Warland went off injured in the first half for the Reds, replaced by Harry van der Sarg. So Javi Lopez at centre-back. And this next 45 minutes, crucial, Andy Harper, as we said at the start of the game, for both teams' finals hopes. Let's just wait and see how this pans out before Harps comes in. Mork feeding Nestori Irankunda! At the double. There goes the backflip. The Reds fans love him. They're about to lose him, but they're enjoying seeing it perhaps for the last time with those trademark celebrations. And it's all come awry for Western United, almost straight from the kickoff.
Well, it didn't take long for Adelaide to kick clear on the Harvey Norman replay. This one was too much for James Donachie to wind back. Stefan Mork putting Irankunda away. A touch off the thigh. It's a great finish. Outside of the right boot. Matt Sutton has the angle closed, or so he thinks. And Irankunda steers the ball to complete his brace, with maybe more to come. And this is a huge hole in which Western United now find themselves.
Well, we're going to miss the gymnastics, aren't we, next season? Takes him up to 5 for the season and 13 for his A-League career. And you'd imagine there'll be a few people back in Germany, Andy Harper, sat around their TV screens at this very moment saying, Jawohl, sehr gut, yeah?
Yes. Well, such like. That's a great start to the second half. Western United need to win this game. I think their season is kaputski if they don't get the 3 points here, and even so, they've still got a lot of work to do. But to overcome this now is going to be a huge effort from Western. They started the game so well, they otherwise had a good first half. But this has been a shocking start to the second stanza for them.
A reminder of the teams at start of play. The one change made by Carl Viet. Ryan Kitto's return. Giuseppe Bovalina out. Here's Irankunda on a hat-trick, of course. Teeing up Mork, and Irankunda! His first ever senior hat-trick! What a moment for the 18-year-old. Takes the acclaim from his adoring public. 3 goals for Adelaide United's wing sensation, who is Germany bound.
Well, it's a decent send-off. It's a decent header, this, on the Harvey Norman replay too. It's a really punishing header. Western United all at sea. And tellingly, Simon, this is the first time by my recollection that Adelaide United have been able to find Stefan Mork with one of those trademark runs into the box from his. And this is the value of finding Stefan Mork when he does get into those advanced positions. It's such a trademark of his. And he makes the ball on a plate for Nestori Irankunda, who gives us not 1 but 2 tumbles. 1 per goal for the second half, 3 for the night, and who knows, maybe more to come.
Well, we're checking this, but is he the youngest player to score a hat-trick in the A-League? Still only 18. We'll try and find out. It's a double salvo at the start of the second half that has absolutely knocked the stuffing out of Western United.
Hung, drawn and quartered. Western, this is a shocking, disastrous start to the second half. And here we go again.
And Ibasuki with a cheeky one. Well, the confidence flooding through the veins of the Adelaide players. This one will be tidied up, or should have been, by Lopez, but a slip, and Western United are on the board through Michael Roos. And it all seems so comfortable for Javi Lopez, but he just lost his footing. And Michael Roos, you have to say, that's a pretty tidy finish too.
Really good finish, good call, Simon. Adelaide fans are booing the thought there was something on the near touchline as Aaron Kunda went in for Ben Garuccia. Not quite sure, but here's the Ibasuki long shot, the transition. Javi Lopez has everything at his mercy, but he loses his feet. And Michael Roos, who might have done better on one or two occasions in that first half, does unerringly well here. Well, maybe not dead yet, Western United. What a crazy start to the second half.
3 goals in 5 minutes.
4 kickoffs. 4 kickoffs in 5 minutes. God, it's like the under-6 gala day.
Well, Aaron Kunda almost qualifies.
Ah, Good Friday. A very good Friday. If you enjoy watching A-League football, this has been a good one, and there's going to be plenty more, you'd reckon. Archie Thompson, Nostradamus, before the game said this one's going to rain goals. I'm not sure if he expected it in this sort of cluster.
Here's Ibasuki, maybe more to come. Clough, Ibasuki, they're almost queuing up there, the Reds. Isaias. Mork takes over, just urges a bit of caution amongst the maelstrom that has been the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half. Oh, strong challenge by Thurgate, and Mork stays down. Might have come off the arm of Roos. Stefan Mork back up to his feet rather gingerly. Well, Thurgate won the ball.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
And Mork trying to take evasive action, but did get collected.
Yeah, so when
stings.
Yeah, when I say nothing in that, there's nothing illegal in that. It's not to say that Stefan Mork isn't sore. Well, another goal for John Aloisi's team would make things really interesting.
Yeah.
Can they stop Adelaide from going again?
Now, Stefan Mork perhaps looking to exact revenge, and Josh Risdon doesn't need to get involved because he's on a yellow card. Mork went in on James Donachie, and Risdon flew into the centre of that little storm. Unnecessarily so, in my opinion, particularly as he's on a booking. It's definitely a foul by Stefan Mork. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's a foul.
But why does Risdon seek to get involved?
I know, he's had angry tablets tonight, I'm not sure. Ooh.
Yeah, there's very close to a meeting of heads there. They just managed to avoid it fractionally. Adam Kersey's wandering away and is clearly in conversation with his colleagues. He allows Josh Risdon to escape, and seemingly Stefan Mork as well.
I think the stern word for Stefan is because he slightly dropped his head as Josh. Yep. Josh invaded his personal space.
And also committed the first foul, of course.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think the ref handled that one well. That could have blown up. Of course, it might still. I mean, something's really got under the skin of Josh Risdon tonight. Maybe he knows this is the game they got to win.
Well, it will be some turnaround if they are to win it. Garuccio skips clear of Van der Sar a second time and puts in a decent delivery. It's only partly away. More distance on that header from Kitto. Well, their season is on the line here, Western United. They lose tonight. The finals are just a pipe dream. Grimaldi has Garucci on the overlap, fired it in quickly and sharply straight into the midriff of Lopez.
That's a good spell. It's a good spell from Western. I mean, fair income. Their entrails were spread all over Hindmarsh Dale, Cooper Stadium, after 4 minutes of this second half. But the goal from Roos has spurred them on. They've got some belief back.
Change for Western. Riku Danzaki's going to replace Matt Grimaldi. He had one good chance in the first half, very bravely went in with the head. Close in with James Delianov. So on comes Danzaki, still looking for his first goal of his spell with Western. Had a very good season a few years back with Brisbane, where he was top scorer with 9. James Donachie looking to cause mischief, standing right in front of Delianov. And the corner was arced over the top of the goalkeeper, but the Reds deal with it. Pasquale trying to keep his feet and the ball, which was difficult to do. Under pressure from Clough. Riston getting the boos from the home fans. Here's Daniel Pena, sat nicely for him. Straight at Delianov this time.
It didn't take much to invite Daniel Pena, as Ethan Alligatch had misread the flight of that ball. Very comfortable for Delianov, but it's Western who have the momentum at the moment. Quite remarkably so, after they totally collapsed at the start of this second half. They're barely recognisable, really. It's Adelaide now who have to watch, but on the break they could go another clear.
And Mork feeds Iran Kunda, as he has for 2 of his goals. And he might yet get a piece of this, Stefan Mork. Well, drop for Clough, it's well defended by Thurgate. And then Iran Kunda goes into the book for going in late on Angus Thurgate. A little bit of a blot on his copybook. Oh, he's always a headline writer, isn't he? For one reason or another. Nestori Irankunda. Michael Roos has picked up a yellow card in that little fracas as well, presumably for dissent. Riston. Kenya can't reach it. Isaias. Looking to direct the traffic ahead of him. Almost told Alligatch where he wanted him to go. It worked out okay for the Reds. Clough. As Kitto just in front of him. Goes square, looking for Morks. Good football this. And there are appeals for handball against Riston, pretty half-hearted. Adelaide will start again through Nick Ansell. Lopez. Irankunda. It's a little bit short for Van der Sar. And Western will nip in. Now Van der Sar's going to go into the book for a late challenge on Roos. It's all getting a little heated and a little fractious out there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, didn't miss him, did he?
No, well, that will fire things up a little bit.
as a first half substitute for the injured Ben Warland, now into the book. An increasingly busy notebook for Adam Kersey. Well, that goal from Michael Roos has given this game a real edge.
Hasn't it? I mean, they were dead in the water. Harvey Lopez slips in an innocuous sort of situation in which he was otherwise exerting complete control. Roos finishes nicely, and the game's turned.
Half an hour to go. John Aloisi's team have given themselves a chance. Wales' free kick. Out it goes off Ibisuki. Wide right is Riku Danzaki. We've now got 3 Japanese players on the pitch. Peña, the Brazilian. A little bit too wide for Garucho, and now they're short-handed defensively as Van der Sar strikes forward, and they've got a man free. Oh, Ibisuki was all alone, but Van der Sar couldn't find the requisite quality. I imagine it's too often in an A-League game that we've had 3 Japanese players on it.
As soon as you referenced that, I started flicking through the mental Rolodex. I can't remember it.
Western Sydney Wanderers had a pair of Japanese players, didn't they, at one stage?
Yes.
So might have happened once or twice before. There's one of them. Imai out for Riston, you'll tell because the boos. Lopez's defensive header is a good one. Towards Ibisuki, now Mork. Here in Kunda.
Well, Bruce Ute, half-time, was calling for the Adelaide crowd to get into it, for the players to bring the crowd into it. His wish seems to be granted. They could do with a spark, Adelaide, at the moment. Clearly enjoying a 2-goal lead, but can't be confident they're going to hang on to it the way Western are pressing them at the moment.
And John Aloisi will know of their wobbles at home. Just about snapped through for Stefan Mork, and then he's held back by Sebastian Pasquale, who perhaps wisely quickly walks away from the scene of the crime. Yeah, clear rugby tackle. There's some heat in this one. Ansel turning back for Delianov. And then Irankunda was leaned into quite deliberately by Ben Garucho. And he might be in a spot of bother as well. Ben Garucho trying to explain the situation. Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Yeah.
Not buying it.
Yeah.
Like the podcast, but no.
Yeah. We might get his version of it this week's publication. Well, 2 teams desperate to stay relevant in this season of the Isuzu A-League. And they put on a show. It's been great watching so far.
Now the run from Thurgate from deep, and he'll steal it behind, and Roos is well positioned centrally. Thurgate perhaps should have gone first time. Wales still there for Western. Pasquale having to turn back out. Down the line by Riston for Wales. It's a good header from Lopez. Picked up in the deep by Pasquale, but he dallied too long on the ball and then chops the legs of Irankunda from underneath him. And Western had a really good chance there when Thurgate made that run forward.
Yeah.
Should have crossed first time. Have predominantly gone down that right-hand side. Irankunda has been stationed. Ball stayed in play. Early ball this time. Lopez well positioned again. Good turn by Ethan Alagich. Ibasuki wanted it played short. Instead it goes to Clough. Now it's Ibasuki. Cross deflected, which took it away from Moore. Imai to clear up field. Pena can't reach it. Lopez gets a second go at it. Still going, Javi Lopez. And eventually the whistle goes in favour of Western United for the foul on Garucho.
Substitution for Western United coming off number 21 Sebastian Pasquale. Will be replaced by number 10 Stephen Mystica.
Change for Western United. Sebastian Pasquale has committed a couple of fouls in the last few minutes. Takes his leave, and on comes Steve Lustica, who of course had a little spell with Adelaide United in the days of Josip Gombau, and quite famously fell out with the then Reds coach, which very quickly led to his departure after just 15 games.
It was quite a fruitful time for Lustica at Adelaide otherwise. By my recollection at least, he was very impressive as a Red.
Here's Ibasuki. Irankunda. Van der Sar. Back through Lopez. Looking for the run of Irankunda, and he will get there. Or should have done. Is there a little push there by Garucho? Adam Kersey says no. They'll be having a look at this one, no doubt, in VAR. Is there a little shove there from Garucho? There might be. Or does he go down too easily for you, Andy?
Well, I think it's in the dangerous territory for Ben Garucho. Whether the match officials think it was meaningful enough contact.
Meantime, Hiroshi Ibasuki takes his leave. And on comes Luka Jovanovic, who's got 3 goals in his last 4 matches and did actually score in the 3-1 away victory against Western United back in November. And some thinking that he might have started tonight, but Ibasuki's done a good job.
Yeah, very good. He's a fine player. I mean, mobility's his thing, or lack of it, compared to other alternatives. But back to goal as a target man, as a finisher, his work around the penalty area in possession, is all very valuable.
Continuing the boos for Josh Risdon, who's managed to pick out Danzaki. Garucho. Donachie. Imai. He is the panto villain tonight, isn't he, Josh Risdon? He won't mind that. Experienced enough not to let it bother him. Danzaki. Just about managed to get the better of Isaias. Roos. Little scoop out wide towards Garucho. Appeals for hands from the crowd. Well defended by Van der Sar. at least in the first instance. Now he's lost out. Barucho. At some point, you've got to get the ball into the box. And Western didn't do that. Irankunda looking to release Jovanovic. Tied it up by Tomoki Imai, who even at 33 has good turn of pace. Thurgate's challenge is not a good one on Alagic. He goes into the book.
Very spicy.
And we'll go down quickly to Lucas Ronaldo. Lucas.
Yeah, boys, just a quick word as we see that tackle on the centre-backs. Of course, Ben Wallen going off. No Lockie Barr on the bench tonight. He's really fell down the pecking order since he had a bit of injuries at the start of the season. But they could be in a bit of quandary come season's end in terms of their centre-backs. They haven't got a single one contracted for next year. Nick Ansell, Lockie Barr, Ben Wallen, all with their contract expired. Of course, Pana Kikianis had a bit of experience coming in before he got injured. He'll be out for the remainder of the year as well. So be interesting to see if Ben Wallen is to be out for a bit more time, what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks very much, Lucas. Interesting stuff. By the way, as we wait Ethan Alagic to get back to his feet, it's confirmation that Nestor Irankunda, the youngest ever hat-trick goal scorer in A-League history, was formerly held by Riley McGree. He was 19 when he netted a treble. One in the Women's League scored by Daniela Garlick. She was 17, so she holds the overall record between men and women. For the men, Irankunda has that all to himself. Here's the free kick. And it pops for Isaias. Not enough elevation on it to get through to Irankunda this time. Thurgate. Riston. You don't even need me to say his name.
I know there's an edge in this one, Simon, because of the circumstances. We're sort of more used to it when the other Melbourne team comes. Melbourne victory, Adelaide at Hindmarsh always is a peppery affair. But Western are assuming that mantle. Or Josh Risdon maybe by himself.
Donachie finds the gap for Garuccio. Not enough of a trick to get around Van der Sark. He did, but he was bundled over by Isaias, who then slips one through for Morg, and it's open pasture on the left. Big chance this perhaps to seal it. Zach Clough. It's just not his night, is it?
He's had some sights at goal tonight, Zach Clough. A beautiful break from Adelaide, clean and decisive. Morg's ball out for Clough was superb. Look where Stephen Walk ends up again. I mean, his capacity to get into the penalty area and cause danger is really amazing. Adelaide don't find him enough, to be honest. Not that Zach Clough was in the wrong to have a go himself there.
Donachie going long. Lockie Wales involved in a real arm wrestle with Kitto, who's adjudged to be the offender. Safe to say he doesn't agree.
Oh, he's got a handful of his shirt, so I think the ref, he's handled this game well tonight, Adam Kersey.
He has. Big decisions right. He's trying to let the game flow. All eyes perhaps on Daniel Pena. Jimmy Donachie at the back post, presenting the aerial threat. Pena goes along the floor.
His set pieces have been really poor tonight. He hit the crossbar in balance with the history reported of his other efforts tonight. That was an accident, but that's the closest he's come. He's usually so deadly.
He's done well here, though, to slip away from two defenders. Seen out by Lopez at the near post. That was some of his best work, Daniel Pena. And it's funny that you pinpointed Pena as being key tonight.
Yeah.
And he has relatively been quiet,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he has. And
Wales, meantime, away by Van der Sar, but heavy off the thigh of Thurgate, and the chance is gone for Western. Garucho and Irankunda again. They've had quite the battle. Kitto floated forward, but Imai was there. That's the As Live ladder. It would take Adelaide to within a point of Brisbane in 8th. Still would be 6 points adrift of the Wanderers in 6th. And it gives them a little bit of a sniff of making the finals. Cheap turnover from Western. Alagic, Clough, Mork, good football, Jovanovic. Vital touch by Tomoki Imai.
well, it's good in play again. Imai, and both teams have defended in their penalty area on balance very well tonight. Apart from a couple of exceptions at the start of the half from a Western United viewpoint. That was nice interplay from Adelaide around the edge of the box.
There we go, 27 shots in a very open and entertaining game. Adelaide would love that 3-goal cushion back. Clough's corner. Seen out by Imai. Reset by Isaias. Clough. Adelaide have got a man down in the box. And there are appeals for handball there, which we might come back to. Referee Adam Kersey is going to stop play, so the injury can be attended to for Harry van der Sar. Oh, there's a little clash of heads there with Thurgate.
Well, there's no doubt it hits Tomoki Imai's hand from my memory of the live speed.
All depends, of course, upon what Sean Evans and his VAR team think about this. Another look at it. Yeah, and that arm is away from the body. Yeah, we're going to have a review here. Adam Kersey called across to the small screen. I have a feeling that Western United are in a bit of trouble here.
I think you're right, Simon.
When the arm goes away from the body like that,
yeah,
and it makes contact, it looks pretty clear, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a penalty for sure.
It gets clearer with every angle we see. Penalty. Well, Tomoki Imai looking rather crestfallen. And now Adelaide United have the chance really to make the game safe. But
yeah,
he can have no complaints.
No, it's as clear as.
Now Zach Clough is 4 from 4 from the penalty spots this season. He's not had a particularly good night in front of goal. There's his last 10. Show a reasonably mixed bag. Matt Sutton will have done his homework, no doubt. This surely to make the points safe for the Reds. Zach Clough is 5 from 5 from the spots. Adelaide lead 4-1 and are surely now set for just their second home victory since October last year.
Well, clear penalty conceded by Tomoki Yamai. Sutton with no chance to save. Here's the ball floating over again. It's a clear penalty on the Harvey Norman replay. And Zach Clough makes no doubt. The only question, Simon, was might they have given it to Nestor Irankunda to bag 4. But that has been answered summarily as Zach Clough dispatches that from the spot to make it 4. And Adelaide have got these 3 points and their season remains very much alive.
7 for the season for Zach Clough. 5 of those from the spot. And Western United are surely sunk now. Michael Roos's goal gave them a little bit of hope. He's going to be replaced. Nikita Rukavica is going to be his replacement. We're actually going to see 3 changes. Jake Nadovsky and Connor O'Toole are the other 2. Josh Risdon ends a rather unhappy night by having his number called. And Zach Clough's successful penalty dispatch is his last contribution. Takes his leave. Ryan Tunnicliffe, one of 3 replacements. Also going to see Ben Halloran and Musa Toure as well. Nestor Irankunda, though, gets the biggest round of applause of the night. What a performance by the 18-year-old.
Brilliant. And the clock counting down on his A-League time for now. Adelaide fans wanting to make the most of it, and they were treated tonight.
It's a night he and they will remember. Musa Toure also on for Stefan Moore, who we should credit for 2 of the assists for Irankunda's goals as well. And he's had a good outing too. So all change for the final few minutes at Cooper's. I think the destiny of the points have been decided. And John Aloisi, no doubt, will be hugely disappointed, not just because of the importance of the game for his team, but always a bit special for him, of course, coming back to Adelaide.
Yeah, speaking about the young Nestor Irankunda, as a young 15-year-old in the NSL, John Aloisi started a riot at Hindmarsh Stadium of sorts. I mean, that's an overblown term, but what a great career he ended up having, launched at this very famous ground. He's had a ringside seat watching the next-gen superstar, let's hope, of Nestor Irankunda doing his thing.
Confirmation of all those changes. There's no way forward, though, for Imai. This is Danzaki, one of the earlier changes. Ivanovic trying to cause mischief and win the ball back. This is Connor O'Toole. He's been sidelined by a hamstring problem over the last month. Nicely done by Garuccio. Into the box it goes, and here's a chance for Nikita Rukavica, who last scored a goal at Cooper Stadium, by the way, for Perth Glory all the way back in 2008. Nicely set up by Ben Garuccio.
Yeah, good shot on the turn. He's still got a bit about him, Nikita Rukavica.
36 now. So had a good spell overseas, particularly in Israel, where he won the Golden Boots during his days in their top flight competition. Pena got past the first defender, not the second. So He was looking to set Moussa Touré away on the right. Good to see him back as well after his injury problems. He just started to emerge on the scene, didn't he, when picked up that injury which kept him out for quite some time, just at the point where he'd been linked with a move to Hibernian in the Scottish Premier League. I remember him leaving the field here at Cooper's in tears. His time will come. Lovely no-look pass from Isaias. Quite so good off Alagic. There he is, Moussa Touré, part of the family dynasty. Touré now playing regularly in the second division in France with Paris FC. Paramount Plus player index, well, as close to the perfect 100 as you can get for Nestor Irankunda.
If only they'd given him the penalty.
And Stefan Morg, fully deserving of that second spot as well.
Yeah, he's such a handful. Great addition to Adelaide. I mean, you know, they're in a lowly position on the table, but this will keep them alive. Stefan joined the team halfway through the season or thereabouts. He's a very familiar player to them, but of course really integrated him and utilised his great strength of arriving into the box. Tour with the hands in the back there on Moussa Touré.
He was offside, Moussa Touré, hence why Western have got the free kick. This result will leave Western bottom of the A-League ladder for a 14th consecutive round. Just a couple of years, of course, after their greatest triumph, and they won the championship. Didn't make finals last year. Thurgate. Looking to thread the eye of a needle there was Daniel Peña. Quite able to do so.
Yeah. And he's not had the impact that his team needed him tonight.
Here's Moussa Touré. Just to find room for the cross. Van der Sar first to react. Alagic. And Jovanovic not quite on the same page. Tunnicliffe, Kitto, Halloran, Van der Sar, Ansel. Intervention by Tomoki Imai. Adelaide's in cruise control in these last few minutes. They've got a tough trip up next. They go to Perth, which is never the easiest place to go and try and get points. And then their final home game against MacArthur before trips to Western and the Central Coast Mariners.
Well, this is how tight a run it is for Adelaide. The win, as healthy as it is, still puts them 6 points off 6th place. So they need to keep winning, and they need teams to stumble at least twice in front of them.
This win, as comfortable as it looks, is not quite Adelaide's biggest victory of the campaign. Of course, Back in October last year, they hammered Melbourne City 6-0 at home. Still time for them to add a fifth. Here's Musa Toure. Toure going for goal, and again, maybe teammates better position, but you can understand him wanting to get in on the scoring act.
Well, Tunnicliffe gave him a look, didn't he?
A hard stare, I think you could call it.
Sort of look you grew up being familiar with.
Yeah, I've seen that one plenty of times. From my neck of the woods. Best thing to do is get away quickly. Oh, challenge from behind. Javi Lopez on young Jake Nadovsky. That's a yellow card as well. Yeah, pretty untidy from Javi Lopez. Straight through the back of Jake Nadovsky, who was included tonight on the back of some good form for Western United's NPL team. 5 goals in 5 games, including a hat-trick against Bentley Greens.
We've seen him a couple of times this year. He's got a bit about him too as a youngster coming through. There's no shortage of talent in the pipeline around the league.
Ball's gone out of play. It's going to be a Western throw to the second of 5 additional minutes. Tunnicliffe. Lopez. Halloran holding the ball up well. Kitto. Held up well by Imai, he's so strong, and there's a bit of a set-to between Imai and Kitto. Play goes on. Referee's going to bring them back and issue cards here. Red for Tomoki Imai for raising the hands on Ryan Kitto. Well, it goes from bad to worse for Western United. It was something and nothing, really. Just a tussle for the ball. They were both holding on to each other. Is there a little jab to the throat? That's what Adam Kersey saw. And Tomoki Imai is off.
Well, he's a player who plays hard and strong and usually clean every week. I'm a huge admirer of his.
He's just apologised to John Aloisi as well.
Yeah, it's a little brain snap from a guy who normally plays with such ferocity but such control. He's won a lot of admirers. Tomoki Imai, me being one of them, but he's obviously crossed the line there. Referee was straight onto it. Again, he's not missed a beat tonight, Adam Kersey.
An unhappy night for Tomoki Imai. He gave away the penalty, of course, which really set the seal on this win for Adelaide. And now that red card means he will miss the big day for Western, which is a real pity when they open up at Ironbark Fields against MacArthur on the 6th of April, and he, of course, is their record appearance holder. It's really unfortunate. Halloran. Well, Danzaki thought that he'd been fouled in the first instance and then went out to take his revenge. Yeah. And there's another name in the notebook.
You can write them all down in kanji. Halloran does beautifully there. Ricky Danzaki, by comparison, is a more volatile character. Lashes out, volatile than Tomoki Imai, I should say. Lashes out there, clear yellow card. Ben Halloran did nicely to get past him.
So a late chance for the Reds to add to their tally. Whipped in by Halloran, but straight into the breadbasket of Matt Sutton. touch was off Ben Garuccio. Even though Western think it is their throw-in. Overall, John Aloisi could probably have few complaints. His team has been second best on the night. Peña's not really been able to get into the game that much.
They had that spell, 15-20 minutes to start the match. They had plenty of positivity going into the Adelaide penalty area. Western United, they just couldn't find an answer.
Might be a late goal for them here. Nadovski just run out of it by Van der Sar. Alagic into the 6th minute of added time, but on we go. Tunnicliffe carrying the ball. Halloran on the left. Toure on the right. No, that's not the right idea.
Good run from Tunnicliffe. Adelaide, on a few occasions, have not made the most of their opportunities too, truth be told.
And there we go, a much-needed win for Adelaide United. Nestori Irankunda grabbing the headlines. His first senior hat-trick. It's the Reds' first win at Cooper Stadium since the 22nd of December. And one that keeps them alive in the finals race, for now at least. Western United's 4-game unbeaten streak is over. They are surely destined to miss out on the top 6. Javi Lopez perhaps apologising to goalkeeper James Delianoff for the missing clean sheet. He was to blame for giving Western a lifeline, which Michael Roos took with aplomb, but Carl Beard's team, certainly the better of the two on the night. 3 goals for Nestori Irankunda, and that's late penalty converted by Zach Clough after Tomoki Imai, who was later sent off, had handled the ball. Back to the drawing board for John Aloisi, but back at least to their home turf for the first time for their next game against MacArthur, which will be at Ironbark Fields. But tonight at Cooper Stadium, they have been well beaten. Full-time scoreline, Adelaide United 4, Western United 1. Well, Nestori Irankunda has left them with a few memories, Andy Harper.
And he leaves the field with the match ball. A very treasured memento that will be of, let's hope he views back as his formative days here, a career that beckons now in Europe. We wish him all the best. Of course, we've still got time to see him at the rest of this season, but for now, a hat-trick at home. Brilliant performance. Well done to him.
One more home game to come against MacArthur for Nestori Irankunda before he jets off to Germany to join Bayern Munich. And they'll have watched that performance today with very keen interest, no doubt. One for the trophy room for Nestori Irankunda, his first match ball. And we're going to get some reaction now with Lucas.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. A long time between drinks, Stefan, in terms of home victories. Your first since you come back. How buzzing are you?
Yeah, I think before I left, I think this place was a fortress. A lot of last-minute goals, and it's the best place to play. Just recently, it's been the best place for the away teams. So I think, you know, we've got one more home game. Nesta's last home game as well. So if I was a fan, I'd be buying a ticket now because I reckon it will sell out pretty quickly.
And Nestori Irankunda, unbelievable performance. We've seen all year how dangerous he can be in glimpses. How impressive was it that he could put it all together tonight?
Yeah, I think he's obviously shown he's got so much quality, the power that he's got, his finishing. As a defender, you'd hate to come up against him, and we know realistically he's not going to defend maybe as much as other players. So when he goes forward, he's got more energy, and he just needs to put those chances away, and tonight he did, and he was the difference for us.
And of course, the podcast derby, we've been calling it on commentary tonight. What's the forfeit now? We've got Benny off camera. What's it mean for him now with you guys getting the spoils?
I think he needs to shave his head, and in the off-season he'll be off to Turkey to get the transplant as well, I think.
Might bring in Benny now. Thanks for your time, Steph. Bit of a stitch up there, Benny. We'll start off, obviously, disappointing performance from your boys tonight. What do you think went wrong?
Yeah, I think the first 20 minutes, honestly, we were really good. The goal kind of comes from nothing. I think we were pressing really well. They were struggling to get out. We were getting out, not too bad. And then the goal sort of comes from nothing. There's not too much you can do about it. And then I think after that, playing here at Cooper's, the crowd always comes into play. The boys got a bit of a lift, I think, Adelaide boys. And then after half-time to cop 2 like that. But at the end of the day, you play against a team like, look, Nesta's one of the best talents I think we've ever seen in this country and in this league. And he takes those chances, those 3, and at the end of the day, it's 3-0. Then it's an uphill battle from there. So, yeah, disappointing.
What's it like when you have him coming at you with his speed and able to get around you? What is it like when you've got a player like that coming at you?
Yeah, it's tough. He's definitely a lot quicker than me, that's for sure. He didn't actually dribble at me too much tonight. I think the goals kind of just comes from runs in behind, and to be fair, yeah, Steph gave him 2 good balls, 2 assists for him. So, yeah, it's frustrating, but, yeah, at the end of the day, that's what sets him apart from probably a lot of other Aussie players. I think the way that we're coached at a young age is taught to be a little bit like robots, and he's a player that has that X factor, which I think we lack in this country. So you've got to nurture those types of talents.
And Steph said you might have to shave your head now. Do you think that's going to happen?
I'm already halfway there at the moment, but no, definitely not shaving my head. We'll see what the forfeit is, but I'll wait for that. I'll let it brew for a couple of days. I think it's a pretty disappointing result tonight.
Thanks for your time, Ben. Bad luck tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, a very good Friday. A very good Friday for Adelaide United. Not a very good Friday for Western United or Ben Garuccio. We will have the full post-game show from what they're already calling the Nestori Irrankunda game here at Hindmarsh Stadium after the break. Welcome back to Hindmarsh Stadium. That is the man of the moment. He was flipping, he was Ronaldo suing, he was doing everything he could because he had to go deep into his bag of tricks because there were so many goals to celebrate a hat-trick. The Nestor Irinkunda, Adelaide United, 4-1 victors over Western United. A dominant performance. Bruce, Archie, look at this man. Wasn't he on fire tonight?
Well, it was the Nestor show.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
definitely
it?
a Nestor
It was the Nestor show. I enjoyed
100%.
watching it. I don't know about you.
Well, I always enjoy watching it when he's
Did you
playing.
enjoy putting on the show?
Oh, no, yeah, it was great. It was good, it was good, it was good.
Oh, Nestor, talk to us a little bit about it, mate. You come out here, we see glimpses of what everyone calls one of the great talents in Australian football every week, but to put together a performance like that, one of your more complete games?
Yeah, it's my best game in the league so far in the last 3 seasons. I reckon best performance that I've put on. Yeah, it was really good to play today. Obviously, I was really happy, excited to be here. Very important 3 points as well. So it was really good, yeah.
What is it for you? Sorry, Breesy, what is it for you that we get this complete game from you now?
No, it just shows what I'm made of, shows what I can do. Yeah, it's just really good to showcase my talent as well here with my second to last home game.
A Nestor hat-trick, youngest player to ever score a hat-trick in the A-Leagues. How did you feel out there when that third goal went in? You know, was it like a dream? Did it feel surreal? Is it like, yeah, I thought I was going to do this before the game even started? How special was that moment?
No, it's really special. Obviously, throughout the last 3 seasons, I've tried to score about 2 in a game that I've scored 1. So obviously, to get 3 today as well, it was really good. Obviously, I was really happy. Obviously, when the third goal went in, I wasn't happy for myself. I was also happy for the team because I was also happy for Steph as well. Because me and Steph have that friendship there at training, and we showed that today with the way we play together.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that because every game that we see you play, it seems like you have to take the game on your shoulders, not have much support around you, especially in that front third. It just seemed to come together today. Mork was sensational with the balls that he played. Ibasuki, you must be excited to play with them come to the end of the season and give the fans a little bit of taste of Irinkunda before he leaves.
No, obviously it's really good. Obviously we've worked really hard this week on the training track. And Ibasuki showed what he can do as well. Hold up play, the passes, Stephen Mork as well. So I guess that's just a taste of what we could do today.
I think we get to see a little bit of your work here, Nestor Irinkunda. There were the goals, and then there's also the celebrations, which we love to look at. Can you talk us through a Ronaldo celebration first off? That's not usually in your bag.
No, I'm not really a Ronaldo fan. I'm a Messi fan, obviously, but obviously it's iconic celebration. And I guess it got the crowd going as well for the first goal as well, and then
and a double. We got a double there for the Hattie.
Double backflip, yeah. It just happened. I didn't mean it. It's luck.
All right, I think we do have a few highlights of Nestor's work because he was, of course, the Isuzu Ute player of the match, which is what he's been. I mean, no one else is going to even pick it, are they? No one else tonight. He's gone. He's our highlight. Well done, that's it. Do we have highlights of Nestor here? Yeah, here they are. Let's go to the Harvey Norman highlights. And most of them are you, Nestor Irinkunda. This first one here, can you talk us through the ball from Zach Clough?
He didn't mean it. Good finish, bottom corner.
We've seen you score some bombs from 30 yards out. You know, you hit the ball with a lot of power. This seemed a lot more controlled, a bit like you thought about it a bit more as the ball came to you, just to put that in that bottom corner. Great technique.
Yeah, a bit more composed in that position there. This second one here, I was supposed to stay high and wide, but I got excited, I went inside and then obviously got the goal.
And I wanted to talk about your football too because, like I said, we're used to seeing you get the ball and you want to take about 100 players on, which you can do on your day. But it just seemed like you looked to give the ball off when it was needed to. It's a tidy finish, by the way. But it just shows you maturity that you're learning, that you can't maybe do it all yourself, that you've got teammates around you. Is that part of that?
Yeah, no, obviously I've changed my play style a bit. This one here was an accident.
Oh, sorry. You talk. How's that an accident?
Nah, it wasn't an accident. I heard Steph in my ear telling me to my right, and obviously I overhit it, but obviously he done well to get there, and then I continued my run. I think first header.
First header goal you ever scored?
Not ever.
For the Reds.
For the Reds, yeah.
But Nestor, tell us, you know, Carl Veert, Ayrton, Mark Milligan. How important have those coaches been in your development as well?
No, Mark's really important. Mark's really important to the team. Carl as well. Obviously, he believes in me, and he showed that throughout the season, and he showed that tonight as well. Obviously, we haven't had the best season, but I reckon best performance so far after the Melbourne City one. Yeah.
All right, well, let's have a look at, after this highlight,
handball.
Well, there were plenty. You want to go more Aaron Kunda highlights?
Yeah. Did you want to take that one? Because
I said penalty.
I said 4. Zach Clough wants the goal, so we're a team. So he's the penalty taker as well.
Yeah.
They're not that happy. Look, they're not that happy.
Should they do flips too?
No, you can't do flips.
I'll be doing the flips. Look, here are the
votes.
We've called it. I mean, it was never going to be any Wales. 3 for Nestor Aaron Kunda, 2 for Stefan.
What does that mean?
1 for Hiroshi. We would have given you 4 if we could.
What is that?
We gave you 3. You're the man of the match.
Oh, I thought I was third place.
Yeah.
Third place.
No, first place.
Hey, we've got more for you too. We're not just done there. You're the best on ground according to the Alex Tobin medal votes, but you're also the best on ground according to the Paramount Plus Player Index. We have so many different ways to tell you how good you were tonight, Nestor and Kunda. I have never seen a score that high before.
Nearly 100.
Yeah, nearly.
Is that the best score ever?
Why wasn't it 100?
Yeah, what was that, 0.5?
I didn't
That was the pass you overhit, maybe.
Oh, to Stefan Mork, yeah. That's the one that killed it.
Yeah, Nestor and Kunda had a reasonable game, as you can see. Stefan Mork was right up there, and James Delianov was huge in the first half when Adelaide United were under siege. It is Adelaide United players dominating the top 5 of the Paramount Plus Player Index. We'll check out the stats. We will let you go soon, Nestor and Kunda, but I mean, so much of it is about you, so you just have to deal with it, I think, my friend. These were the match stats. Plenty of shots on goal, expected goals, Adelaide United jumping out there. Anything leaping out for you, Bruce?
No, but it was interesting that Western United had more possessions
off.
Right, they did control large portions of that game. They had their chance in the first half. They didn't take them. This man opened the floodgates, and then just too explosive in the first couple of minutes of that second half, and the game was pretty much over.
All right, I think we can let you go because I can see the entire way around this stadium, the front row is still filled with people that want your autograph, Nestor and Kunda. How are you going to go with all of that? You got the strength left in your hands for tonight?
No, I don't got the marker. I think they're allowed on the pitch. I'll probably sign a few and then go home.
Okay, and where's that ball going when you get home? Match ball?
You need the team to sign it first.
Yeah, everybody's going to sign. You're going to sign it too, huh?
Yeah, I'll sign it.
All right, yeah. Everybody's going to sign the ball
mate.
and then, home.
Congratulations, fantastic performance
Cheers,
tonight,
thank you.
Nestor and Kunda. We've all greatly enjoyed it.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
He's a barrel of laughs, isn't he? Doesn't stop. Were you like that when you were younger, Bruce?
A little bit different characters, but that's the beauty of it.
Mate, we weren't scoring hat-tricks at 18 years old.
That's the other part.
All right, we'll go to a break. We've got more after that here from, oh man, from the Nestor and Kunda show.
Change of angle and headed in. What a beauty for Sydney FC, and it's the skipper on the night.
Shifts it into Nisbet. Josh Nisbet has done it again. Here's Courtney Perkins with time and space, and Jordan Courtney Perkins.
Docker again. Torres on that left foot. Oh, brilliant finish.
Over the next month, football fans won't be getting a lot of sleep. In 30 days, we're jamming in 89 games. It's a monster April on Network 10 and Paramount Plus.
Courtney Vine gets on the score sheet.
There's the Liberty A-League Women's Finals, the race for the finals in the Isuzu Ute A-League Men's.
And he goes low and hard to the bottom left-hand corner.
Scottish Cup and FA Cup semi-finals.
But the young man, can he make himself a hero? He has done. It's Manchester United's quarter-final.
The AFC Under-23 Asian Cup, AFC Cup, Asian Champions League. All the big guns are lining up for a marathon month. Over 133 hours, whistle to whistle.
Winds up, and Russo scores.
April is football on 10 and Paramount Plus. Sleep is overrated.
89 games in April, if you don't mind, but we're going to talk about this one right here. Welcome back to Hindmarsh Stadium. Adelaide United 4, Western United 1. We are joined by the coach of Adelaide United and a whole bunch of kids. Carl, how are you feeling after, I imagine a weight is almost lifted when you have a performance that good?
Yeah, look, very happy. I've been saying for a long time our performances have been quite good. We just haven't been rewarding ourselves. And tonight we scored some goals and maybe could have had a few more. So very happy for the playing group. They've worked hard and they deserve that tonight.
And you talk about scoring goals. We can't talk about scoring goals without talking about Nestor Irankunda. But even beyond that, how do you go about nurturing this type of talent? You've had Riley McGree, Joe Gauchi, you got Nestor Irankunda, even Craig Goodwin. You made him the captain. He became a real talisman and blossomed in that period. And look at what he's gone on to now. Yourself, Mark Milligan, Ayrton. How do you go about nurturing this talent as a coaching group?
Yeah, look, it's tough, especially with Nestor. He's such a exciting kid, very different to any of the other young players that we've had at the club. We've had to treat him very different to everyone else. It's upset maybe some people at times, but look, I'll always put what's best for him first. And we're seeing when we treat him right and look after him, he puts those performances. It's just now him building on this, and I think the last couple of weeks he's been excellent.
How do you toe that line, Carl? How do you toe the line between this is great for Nestor, but maybe there are other senior team members that battle with the way that you handle him?
Yeah, look, it is difficult, but look, at the end of the day, I keep saying this, he's a very rare talent. So we can't, also you got to look where, Nestor's, doesn't come from the same family group as a lot of us as well. So you got to make sure we look after him, and the discipline that we try to instill in him, it just can't be black and white with him. We have to allow the grey areas, and sometimes he operates quite a lot in those grey areas. So it is challenging, but he's been. I can't ask more from him. He always tries to do what I ask him to do.
And the players around him, because I thought Mork was sensational. Ibusuki with his touches and link-up play to almost allow him to flourish and score that hat-trick. You must be pleased with all their performances too.
Yeah, most definitely. It takes a team for players to play well. And I suppose at times this year we just haven't had enough players stand up and play well to help him do what he can do. And I think tonight we saw that, and I suppose there's no coincidence that since Steph's come in and provided that little bit more drive for Nestor and take that little bit more pressure off of him, that's allowed him to sort of have a little bit more freedom.
And Carl, great 3 points tonight. Realistically, are you still looking for finals? You're still putting teams out for finals specifically, or do you start to have one eye on next season? Does that make a difference in your team selection?
Not at the moment. We look at the opposition that we're playing against and come up with the best team plan to win the 3 points. That's all it is about for us, is getting the 3 points. And if we can get game time into some of the young players, we will. But at the end of the day, we have to pick the team that's going to get the 3 points.
Thank you very much, Carl. We'd appreciate your time. A happy evening, I would imagine, in the Adelaide dressing rooms tonight.
It'd be a nice Easter now.
Go and enjoy some chocolate. You could probably go and sign a few autographs if you want to. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you joining us at the desk.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
We do. I want to ask you boys, as Carl wanders off, he's just sort of said what he thinks might be next for Adelaide, but Archie, what do you think's next for Adelaide? Finals are mathematically possible, but what would you like to see for the rest of the year from the Reds?
Well, I think the beauty about this game is that you've got two teams that are just going to go at it. And so it's going to be open, it's going to be great. I pretty much want the same from Adelaide is what they put out tonight. Just attacking football, put it all out there, and those players that are not under contract to really step up and try to stamp a mark on their position for next year. But I feel like the football that they're played tonight, and you allow Irankunda to do what he does with the players around him, I want to see that and just see what happens at the end of the year. You never know, miracles can happen. It's a very unlikely miracle, but you still want to finish well.
You're right, you never know. There's still about a month of football to go. They're about 6 points off the top 6. They could still make it if they go on a bit of a run.
They're winnable games. There's some winnable ones amongst there. 4 on the road, those tough.
Not bad. I mean, that run-in, they can't complain too much about that run-in. Could look much more ominous than that as a task. I think they're doing the right thing in trying to get all 3 points, and then game by game, typical saying that gets thrown out. But it's true, it's the best way to go about it. And then really they need to do some heavy lifting in the off-season to rebalance that squad, whether it's the demographics in terms of age and the positions that they recruit for, because there are gaps still in that team.
Okay, so Dumb and Dumber, we're saying, you're telling me there's still a chance for the Reds? Maybe this year, not so much for Western United. Lucas Ronaldo caught up with what I'd imagine is a fairly dejected John Aloisi after the loss.
John, commiserations, mate. Obviously not the performance you were after. What do you think went wrong tonight?
Look, we know what went wrong in terms of we looked a little bit flat tonight. We've changed our training grounds, and we knew that we had to sort of change our training program a little bit because the grass and that is all different. So we knew they would be a little bit flat. But look, they weren't. They were way more aggressive than us. They caught us on the counter a lot. I thought we created still a lot of chances, but they caught us on the counter and they punished us when they did.
Was it a bit of a different game than you were expecting? Obviously, there was a bit of spice in that second half.
Yeah, look, I thought the referee probably could have protected players a little bit better. But look, in saying that, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. We tried to get back into the game. They killed it off, really, the 2 early goals in the second half, and then we're playing catch-up from there. I thought in the first half, the first 20, 25 minutes, we were in control, creating good chances. They didn't have a chance. The first opportunity they scored. The difference between the two teams tonight was Irankunda, that's to be honest.
Yeah, as far as South Australian exports go, they don't come much bigger than you. I know it's hard to be sort of objective on it now, but how far can a player like that go? And when you look at South Australians to come out of this country, it must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I hope that he does go really far. He's got something that not many players have got. He's got electric pace. He's got, he's unpredictable when he plays, and if you don't take care of him and you give him opportunities, he'll take them. And so tonight he was excellent. Again, he was, by far the man of the match, and he caused us problems all night.
And you called it a new beginning this week, going home finally out west. That must be exciting.
It is exciting. Look, we've got to regroup from this game because, we know that it wasn't what we wanted performance-wise, but, we'll make sure that we're ready for the next 3 home games and hopefully win all of them.
Thanks for your time, John. Bad luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Some regrouping to do, as he puts it. What do you boys think for Western United? We've looked at Adelaide, looking at Western United running into the finish now. I mean, it's probably a wooden spoon that they're looking at. What do you want to see?
Look, we asked Carl the question. We had the luxury of asking Carl the question. I think for JA and that Western United club, it's about eye on next season. Mm-hmm. What do they need to do to get this squad back up to scratch? Who do they need to let go? Who do they need to bring in? Where? And I'd start looking at playing the players you want to keep in the remaining games, because whilst you don't want to finish at the bottom of the table, the players have already let you down, really, by putting out so many performances throughout the season similar to tonight.
There's probably some tough calls to make when you look at the list of out-of-contract Western United players. I mean, you've got Pena at the top, but then the likes of Wales and Risdon and Lustica and Heward Bell, all players that have played big parts at the club. how hard is it to make decisions on people that have been around and helping you for a long time?
Yeah, it is tough, and I will say that. Kicking
How are
with
you,
the
buddy?
kids, huh?
Yeah, you're involved, mate. Have a kick.
Kicking with the kids. My touch was rusty there. I've got to work on that. I would say I'd probably like to, if I was JA, probably kick Risdon, because you want someone that's got the DNA, the blueprint.
Go on, say it.
Archer's making the big calls.
Well, no.
Are you going to go through it?
He's a great captain, great leader, someone that really throws himself around, and you want those kind of leaders at your club. And I will say about West United, they've got the stadium, as you said about Johnny was just saying there, they were unsettled with training facilities and grass, and now they're going to have a settled place to play out of, which they haven't had all year. They've been going all over the place. Ballarat, where they played majority of their games and never have great results there.
Yeah.
And now they're settled. For now, it's probably get through this season, give something to the fans to look forward to next year. But I'd be keeping a lot of those key players. Risdon is someone, like I said, and Pena. Throw the checkbook at him for sure.
He was kept quiet tonight by the Adelaide United midfielders. Let's have a look at what we've got coming up this weekend. We've ticked off the opening game 4-1. It was a massive result, but there are still some big games to come. Probably not too many bigger than Sydney FC and Central Coast. We got a tip, fellas?
Look, I'm tipping a draw there. I know
exciting.
that's not exciting. I know that's not exciting, and neither was the tone of my voice. But honestly, I think that's what the outcome's going to be.
Well, Sydney's flying. I do like maybe Central Coast just for that bit of revenge on that game in Central Coast where they, 3-0? Never saw that coming, but Sydney are a team in form, probably the form side.
Oh, hold on, the Knicks just done them in Auckland.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one.
It's hard to win Auckland.
Hey, I
win
was
in
on
New
the
Zealand.
international break too.
It's hard to win over there.
It is hard.
Come
Hey,
on,
they haven't lost in Auckland the whole time they've played there.
Put
So
your
any
boxing
team that was
gloves
going there
away, boys. We have to move on. We're on a schedule
Bruce, you
here.
got me there, mate. You got me.
On a schedule. Let's go and have a look at the ladder. I mean, this has probably done a little bit to the ladder. We need to see how it's affected Adelaide United's standing, because it's going to leave Western United right at the bottom. But we do have right up there Wellington and Central Coast. Sydney FC, they are still coming. They would like to close that gap on Melbourne Victory and take away some points from Central Coast, which Wellington would love to see. This is where we have the teams from this evening. Adelaide United, it's not too far off the pace there now, Bruce.
It's a possibility. It is a possibility. Slim, but possible. Ever the optimist I am.
Yeah, Bruce is happy. Bruce is still hoping. He's still hoping down here. All right, we need to get out of here. Gentlemen, it has been 4-1. It has been the Nesteri Iran Kunda show. It's been fantastic to have you here, Arch. What are we, armoured vehicle back to the hotel for you in Adelaide?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Good luck. We'll look after you. Always great to have
the
you
Adelaide
here.
fans, they love me now.
No, they do, mate. From us down here, that is all we have for you. 4-1 Adelaide United, a huge result for them, a huge result for Nestor Iran Kunda. Stick with us, a big weekend of A-League football ahead.
Yeah, I saw the first 20, 25 minutes before the goal that we were in total control, but we know the threat that they have, and their threat is transition. They caught us in transition. That's where they hurt us tonight. In particular, Irukunda. He was the difference. It looked like that it fell away. Yes, in the second half we didn't have as much control in terms of creating chances, but they scored 2 goals after 2 minutes. The game's done. Even though we're trying to get back into it, trying to see what we can do, but the crowd gets a lift. Normal. Their players get a lift, start to play a bit of confidence, and they've got good players. So. We got caught in transition, and that was the difference in terms of them scoring, and we didn't take our chances because we had plenty of chances. I thought that we could have been 2 or 3 up pretty easily, and then we get punished down the other end.
So obviously, how do you keep motivated now for the season? When you look at
We've got a new beginning. We're in our home. We've got 3 games at home now. This is going to be massive for our club. It's going to be a big week for us. We've just moved into the facility, so we're just getting used to that. This is the start, of something new for us. So this is big. I know it's a negative result, and we're disappointed, and it hasn't been the season that we would have wanted. But we're in our home, and it's big for the club. So that's our focus. We have to put this behind us quickly, and because we've been playing well. So the results haven't gone our way. There's little things that we can do better. Obviously, like tonight, we could have stopped the transition moments a lot better. But we're excited to have now 3 home games.
Just on Irukunda, obviously you've been overseas. You left here when you were 15, went over to Belgium, and then forged your career. He's now the youngest A-League player to score a hat-trick. As a player at the same age, can you give him some sort of advice? Because he's going to be going to one of the biggest clubs in the world. What sort of advice can you give?
Look, the advice would be that you're going to go through difficult moments, and then you have to, find the way to get through those moments. And I think every player that went overseas from Australia, will say the same thing, that, because we're still not recognised as, the best players, in the world come out of Australia. So hopefully that will change over time. Hopefully, Irukunda can change that for us and show that we're producing good players and talented players, because, he's an exceptional talent. We can all see it. Now it's the other side. It's the other side that, he will need to learn and grow, and that will only come through experience. Hopefully he'll have good people around him. I'm sure that he will. I'm sure that he'll have good mentors around him that will help him through the tough times.
How do you rate him among young Australian strikers that you've seen throughout your games?
He's one of the most talented I've ever seen in Australia, without a doubt. Like tonight, he was the difference. When you think about it, Val, I can't remember him really having many clear chances. He caught us. We couldn't stop him. When he's playing like that, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop. He's picking up the ball from the halfway. Even the goal he scores is from an angle and a half. Like, really, when you think about it, you think, we're comfortable here. But he's got so much power. He's got ability. Then he was good, very good tonight. He killed us. One of the best. He's one of the most talented I've seen come out of it.
He's in a big field though. Leaving yourself out.
Yeah.
Mark Viduka, players like that.
Look, the difference between Mark Viduka, different positions obviously, but different players. But I'd say Mark Viduka was very consistent already at a young age. But Nestor is still, I think, a lot younger than Mark was when he first burst onto the scene. So you hope that when he gets to that age, he's able to consistently, because really his form's been up and down since he's been in the A-League. So, I know that with young players that will happen, but if he gets consistency into his game, like quality-wise, oh, man. Like, I don't know what his top speed is, but there's no one catching him. Some of the goals that he's scored already in his young career is, his highlights reel, way better than mine was throughout my whole career. So.
He seems to strike the ball so hard as well.
Yeah. He's he's physically strong. He's very strong. And then also you have to be technically good. You know, you can't just be power. He has to strike it well. Yeah, he's. I hope for him. I hope for Australian football that he can go on and have a great career. Look, I'm not saying that he's going to be our best player that we've ever produced because, you know, he's got a long, long way to do that. But in terms of talent, he's there. Yeah.
It's a big goal.
Yeah.
Just last one on him, and then ask questions about your team. Do you feel his game's actually a bit more well-rounded at the moment than what it was maybe playing at the start of the season or last year? It feels like even tonight, it felt like there was more of an intentional getting other players involved. There was a chance in the first half where he broke away and Walk was on the left, and I thought watching it, he's just going to push the ball to the right and probably shoot on goal. But then he actually tried to find Walk in behind.
Yeah, look, I'm sure that he's becoming a better all-round player, but that also helps that he's got the likes of Stefan Mork around him, the likes of Ibasuki around him, the likes of Clough around him. They're experienced players that are helping him. Probably at the start of the year, he didn't have that. You know, there was a lot more younger players around him that he probably needed a little bit of help, and everyone's relying on him. Whereas now he's got those players that can take the responsibility, help him through moments during a game. And, you know, then behind him had Isaias. So, like, he had some serious, experienced players that could help him. And, you know, that's what you need sometimes. You need that out there because a coach can only do so much for the sideline. The experienced boys out there have to help him.
And you spoke about not stopping Adelaide's transition moments. Well, the second and third goals in particular lost the ball and then they counter-attacked. Was that around, like, counter-pressing or is that...
Nah, it was us giving the ball away in stupid areas. You know, we know they defend narrow and we're playing the ball through the middle when there's numbers there. That for us that's the reason why we got caught on the counter. And then because they got quality going forward with Viracunda, they hurt us. But we shouldn't be losing the ball in those areas.
And there was a point around your team, I think, like the Wanderers game, it's something like 25 fouls, Victory game, 13 fouls. But it was kind of a sign of, you know, that you're playing a bit more aggressively, maybe without the ball. I think tonight that number was at 10. Was there any emphasis on that, trying to continue that, being aggressive without the ball? And did you feel like it wasn't really there tonight?
They were way more aggressive than us. We need to match that. You know, if they see the referees are allowing certain things, then do the same. We weren't aggressive enough.
You mentioned about getting your new home, and that will give you some consistency in your routines. Do you think that can help you with the results on the pitch as well, getting that consistency?
100%. 100% will help us.
And one of the teams you are playing there in a few weeks is Adelaide United. You mentioned about how you got caught in transition. What are you looking at working on?
Not to give the ball away in silly areas. You know, that's the main thing. You know, we have to make sure that we're organised defensively when we got the ball. And, you know, and don't give the ball away in areas that we're left open. And then that's what happened tonight. So we'll look back at it, we'll review it and make sure that we learn from our mistakes.
When you look at the next 12 months, how do you improve to go up the table?
I will improve. There's already, like what I'm saying about the lift that we'll get from having a home ground. We'll look to sign players. We'll look to improve our squad. The younger players will come on even more so. You know, we have to look at, you know, Grimaldi. This is his first year in the A-League. You got Vidmar. This is his first year in the A-League. We've got a lot of Jake Najoski's now starting to find minutes, and we've got a lot of young boys coming through. So, you know, don't forget Adelaide. You know, Viracunda's aside, Adelaide have had a sort of academy with the NTC program going for 20 years. This is taking us time, but we'll improve. There's no doubt about that. We've been good most of the year. We haven't got the results that we've deserved, but that's also because of little details that we need to get better at, and we'll look to get better at in the off-season in terms of signing new players.
Did the club tell you what attracted them towards the Tarnet area in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's been on the card since day one that we want to go out west. That's our area. That's our heartland, and you know, Tarnet is the spot that we're going to. That's going to be the fastest growing corridor in Melbourne. You know, that area there. You know, I'm from Adelaide, but that area there is going to be bigger than Adelaide within 10 years' time. So it's a no-brainer to go out there.
Thank you very much.
Any word on, there was a few challenges in the game, Nesta got booked, Van der Sar, Tomoki's red,
I didn't see the Tomoki's red closely enough to have a comment on that, so I'm not sure. Obviously the referee saw something. Look, they're challenges that, we've been told that normally certain players will get protected. They didn't get protected, but, I'm not saying they were red cards or anything like that. I just thought that, there's some serious challenges, but we have to be better in terms of making sure that we're just as strong as them. All good? Thanks.
Daniel Levy's number 2. Oh, he's good mate of mine though. When?
Daniel Levy, is he? Tottenham's Daniel Levy.
Yeah, Tottenham, yeah, Scotland's Daniel Levy's number 2. Andrew reports to Scotland. I taught him a lot about football because he turned up in Melbourne. He was the second employee, I think, Melbourne Harbour.
If he was straight,
I did the story on the takeover, and Fran, sorry, I know, came out cheeky the Jewish thing. I sort of interviewed them all, and Scott said that day they all thought they were going to get sacked. Sorry, I know the Jewish thing, which is pretty new with their sort of Spanish mates. Well, they used them and worked them out, and they did well. And then when City Football Group decided to invest in China, they sent him to China. Yeah, of course, Simon Gibbs is running the show.
Hi guys.
G'day, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are yourself?
If you're not good after that.
Sure, why? Good. Going all right?
Yeah. No, a good win. It still keeps your final hopes alive. Slim. That hat-trick by Nestor, the youngest leading player now to score a hat-trick. The second youngest was Nathan Burns when you were still on the team. You didn't play.
Away to Central Coast, yeah.
Right. So, a kid this young getting a hat-trick, you saw Burnsy getting one when you were a player. I mean, what's it telling you about sort of Nestor at this stage of his career?
Yeah, look, I'm glad for him to get the reward for the work that he's been doing in the last couple of months. It's been a challenging year for him. There's a lot of expectations from the media and the fans put on him. So look, I think we're starting to see the maturity coming through. And tonight his performance was, very good. And I think it has been good the last, 3-4 weeks. So I'm happy for him. And I think it just shows to him as well that, if he keeps working and keeps his head in the right place, that he'll put these performances in.
Is that the hardest thing about Nestri? And we spoke to Johnny about Nestri and how good he is. And he talked about Mark Viduka maybe being more consistent at the same age. Is that maybe the problem? If there's any problem with Nestri, he's not consistent enough?
Oh, look, it's difficult for young players to find that consistency. They're still finding out what works for them. So look, we have tried to protect him a lot and try to not put pressure on, because he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He has big expectations from himself, and it's important that he. As I say, he's still a kid, and it's important for him still to enjoy his football and relax and make mistakes and learn. I try to not give him, too much responsibilities out on the pitch. We try to find, sides for him where he can, do what he did tonight. I'm glad. I'm just very happy for him. Happy for the rest of the playing group as well. They've worked, extremely hard this season, and the results haven't gone the way we would like them to go. Look, it's always pleasing when you have good results like we did tonight.
Mathematically, you still have a chance. Realistically, what's in your head?
Yeah, look, it's important that we, the old cliche, take one game at a time, and our focus on is winning, these next 5 games. We've had a lot of talks, with the playing group over the last, 4 or 5 weeks, when we went through, a bad spell, but our performances weren't that bad. We just couldn't reward ourselves with our execution at times. So, tonight we were better at that. Even then, we still could have had a few more. So, look, it's important that we just keep our focus on what we can do, not worry about where everyone else is and what they're doing. Won't even look at the table. We'll just focus on ourselves.
Carl, just going back on some of Val's questions on Irankunda, even through earlier this season, there was always an element of wildness about the way he went about things. I mean, obviously, he had got sent off, he's got in trouble, but tonight there looked to be a lot more finesse about his finishing, and just the whole way he's controlling himself. Is that really just maturity, just getting older?
I think so, yeah. It's that belief in himself as well. A lot of people think all he is power and speed, but they don't actually see and work with him every day. He is technically very, very good, and his understanding of the game is at a high level as well. He knows when to slow things down and when to go fast. It takes time for these young players. We can't expect them to give us an 8, 9 out of 10 every week. There's going to be weeks where they're going to be 4s and 5s. So it's important that we just keep him going, and because we know, as I say, he's a very rare talent that I haven't, I've worked with a lot of young players, and I've never worked with anyone that has what he has. And he's hopefully, we can see what he did tonight. Hopefully he can be doing that for Australia as well.
Do you think because he's so quick and because he is so powerful, he's actually been underestimated in some strange way, because there's not been that much focus on his technical ability, or perhaps the football public has just pigeonholed him rather too quickly?
Yeah, maybe. As I say, because his power is frightening at times, and some of his challenges look a lot worse than what they actually are, because he is so quick and so strong, and he just is, as you say, he's starting to mature a little bit more and settle down a little bit more, and that's what we see tonight, his performances.
Decision making, one of the big things as well, because in the third
Yeah, look, I think at times, you know, he still, as I said, it all comes together at times, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes he is too not selfish enough, and sometimes he is maybe a little bit too selfish. So it's just, you know, we just got to keep working with him. And you know, tonight he, you know, made, you know, a lot of right decisions.
And Michael mentioned him getting sent off earlier in the season. There was a moment when he got booked tonight. Michael Roos seemed to come over, and it looked like maybe Nesta could have reacted, but he actually just walked away. So away from the football side, the mental side, slow improvements there as well.
Yeah, most definitely. As I said, we've done a lot of work with him, getting him to understand that there's a lot of people out there that, you know, in Australia want him to fail and make it tough for him. You know, some of the things that he's had to go through on the pitch, you know, other players wouldn't be able to cope with, and you know, we're expecting an 18-year-old kid to, you know, have the maturity of a seasoned professional.
What is it that people are doing or saying to him? What are they...
Look, you know, most teams try to be quite physical with him, and you know, just not physical. It's you'll see there's a lot of people that want to talk to him as well, so they're trying to upset him. So you know, he's zoning a lot of that out now, and just focusing on what he needs to do.
And I thought Stephen Moore was probably his best game since he's returned to the club. And the third goal as well, like, I think basically came from nowhere. It was a one-busting run to support Nesta. I mean, you must be delighted with his performance.
Yeah, Steph has, you know, since he's come in, I think I said earlier tonight as well, since Steph's come in, Nesta's improved as well, because Steph has helped him a lot, not just, you know, with the off sort of field stuff, but on the pitch, he will cover for him a lot, do a lot of work for him, which allows Nesta then to have that freedom to attack.
Great result, great scoreline, but were you concerned the first 20-25 minutes? James Delianoff was by far the busier keeper, and Jono Easey's team did look as if it was more cohesive and in control. Do you think that's an unfair reflection?
No, look, I think you know, we haven't started games well this year.